Peyton Manning talks tonight about going into the Hall of Fame in August and who will be presenting him. Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. It is a Wednesday night. We are motoring right toward the weekend. Hope you've had a great day. Thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're watching Facebook Live. We'll give you a shout out during this next 15 minutes as we talk about some of the big stories today. Our big story at 11 o'clock on the news, we'll be talking about children across Indiana and how much they have lost in terms of learning by not being in class full-time. Friend of the show, Emily Longnecker, will be joining us. We'll be taking a look at how preschoolers are affected by the pandemic. But we want to start tonight by turning our attention to Angela. Angela, the couch, as our Facebook friends know.
Stools.
We're now in stools.
We're trying to do stools.
We're swiveling stools. So the couch is out.
Couch
we
is
were
still
over at the
gone.
Weather Center last night, and
Yeah.
now we're in the swiveling stools.
Yeah, it's like you're a little kid in, first grade, and you just want to keep, moving your chair around.
Exactly.
So don't mind us.
Beautiful night tonight.
It was a beautiful night.
Yeah.
A little muggy, but not too muggy.
Right.
Not too hot, made it into the mid-80s. A little muggy the next couple of days,
Right.
and we'll be tracking some storm chances too by the time we reach late tomorrow into Friday. But go ahead and make some outdoor plans for tomorrow, especially the early half of the day. 72, 8 a.m., 82 noon. I'd say anytime after, say, 2 or 3 o'clock, there will be the chance for a pop-up storm or two. Speaking of storms, unfortunately, they dealt with tornado-producing thunderstorms out across parts of Iowa. They were under a tornado watch a good part of the late afternoon, early evening out there, and they did have several reports of tornadoes. So this is the system we're tracking. It stays north tonight, and that's where we find the risk for severe weather does kind of move our way tomorrow. But again, the majority of tomorrow is going to be just fine. Future Track 13 confirms that. It'll be afternoon heating. We get a handful of thunderstorms popping up, and then we'll kind of wait and see if this line actually forms late tomorrow night into early Friday. And I know there are lots of things going on Friday. Summer Celebration has their big outdoor event on
Right.
Friday, so we've been in contact with them trying to help them plan. I think they've got some things they're getting ready, like early afternoon through
Right,
the
right.
early evening. So we're kind of hoping that we can dodge a few of those thunderstorms and maybe get the main line to push far enough south, but we'll keep you updated on that too.
Friends on Facebook checking in tonight. Zach is with us. Janice from Denver. Karen saying hello tonight. Terry from Plainfield. Rachel is watching tonight. Sharon from Logansport this
Nice.
evening checking in. Helen from Terre Haute. Let's see, Joy, hello from Lawrence tonight. Shelby is with us tonight. Scott from Vegas.
Scott
From Vegas.
Nice.
He's not down on the tables right now.
You know, what
Scott's
time is it
watching
in Vegas? Is it 7?
I think it's
Are they-
3 hours. Yeah,
so
I think it's 7 p.m.
o'clock. Might just be getting ready for dinner.
She's getting started there. Melissa from Wanamaker. Let's see, Joyce joining us tonight for Versailles.
And they love the stools? Anybody love the stools?
How do you guys feel about the stools? Did you see that they swivel? Yep, they do. We can't do this on the news, but we can do this here on Facebook.
We can do it on Facebook.
That's right.
We can do whatever we want on Facebook.
Oh,
Okay.
we're gonna try some different things here on Facebook. Try
Better
some
go to
different
Emily.
places.
She's much more controlled.
Okay, let's turn our attention. We'll be talking with Angela a little bit more about the weather and the forecast and your Facebook comments coming up in a bit. But we do want to turn our attention now to the big story. And of course, the big story tonight is learning more from the Department of Education today about how students have lost some of their learning, some of their knowledge because of the pandemic, because so many kids were home watching virtually, not in school with teachers as usual. And we got a report today that according to the iLearn test, revealing only 40% of students were proficient in language and English, and 37% only prolific in math. So pretty clear, I think, to everybody that being in class is the way to go. Emily Longnecker joins us tonight. And Emily, I know the story you've got coming up for us tonight on 13 News at 11 has to do with preschool kids. Let's talk about that and talk about your story tonight.
Right. I visited a preschool today, St. Mary Child Center, and they're getting ready to open in the next few weeks, but was visiting with a mom whose daughter attended there. since she was 3 years old. And of course, during the pandemic, she was home for several months. And now this little girl is about to start kindergarten, and at a different school. And so mom, had her tested recently, and said, there were some things that she was behind in. And, she's concerned, obviously, that it probably has to do with the time that her little daughter was home, and mom was home at the same time, of course, parent working from home, but she was helping her older children who were in grade school and junior high do their work. So she says, by the time I got to my preschooler, she was either tired or there wasn't time that the day was over. So, and she talked about, how wonderful it was when her daughter did finally go back to class and was in preschool and was engaged again and was, coloring and, was talking to the director of the preschool today, who talked about those critical years for learning are really, up until 5 years old, the brain is really, really developing. All these studies show that is the most important time in a child's life for their brain, right? So, you have to imagine that, here are these preschoolers that were supposed to be in school and learning. And it's not so much the ABCs as much as it is being with their peers and the social emotional learning that they missed out on for several months. So parents, definitely seeing the effects of that now.
Yeah, that's an important story, and we look forward to your coverage as part of our big story on Channel 13 tonight at 11 o'clock. We know you're still writing and editing, so Emily, we're going to let you go. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be watching for your story tonight at 11. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Scott. Bye-bye.
All right, there's Emily Longnecker. I think one of the other things I'd be interested in hearing from our Facebook viewers tonight, parents, what are you seeing from your own children? And perhaps what are you doing to try to ramp up their learning here over the summer before kids go back to school? Are there some things that you're doing at home to help your child? What are you doing with your son and daughter? Anecdotally, we'd be interested in finding out how you felt like your school year went with your son or daughter at home, or maybe in the hybrid system, or perhaps they spent the last several months in the classroom. Let us know your feelings on that, how your son or daughter did in school. We'd certainly would like to know how things are going there. All right, let's turn our attention to number 18, the beloved Peyton Manning tonight. He's getting ready to go into the Hall of Fame next month.
Yeah, and we were in this really cool story that his dad gets to, I think there's a fancy word for it, basically introduce him.
Right,
but
present him, right, yeah.
Which, as you wonder, do you pick mom? Do you pick dad? Do you pick one of your brothers? I don't know.
Right.
It would be hard. It would be hard to pick one, but I guess since his dad played football, right?
That's right.
Then I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you think about, Peyton's career, obviously, spending 18 years, 5-time most valuable player, been in the Pro Bowl, so many times. He's won 2 Super Bowls. His dad really was his biggest mentor from the time that he was a little boy. And Peyton talked on a Zoom call today with reporters about why he chose Archie Manning to present him at the Hall of Fame enshrinement next month.
Like I said, never was my coach, but always was my mentor. And so, I can only think of about 2 or 3 games that he's missed since I was in high school or college, and in the NFL. Obviously, didn't go to all the road games, but watched every one of them. Bit his fingernails the entire time. My mom said, not a very calm fan, according to my mom. So, your words are exactly right. Just a no-brainer as far as picking him to present me, and just couldn't have a more appropriate person to do that.
And as we sort of wrap up what Peyton was talking about today, let us know what your favorite Peyton Manning memory was when he was playing football. Was it here with the Colts? Was it winning the Super Bowl? Was it finally beating Tom Brady in that 2006 AFC Championship game? Was it the parade after they won
it was so
Super Bowl?
cold.
Oh, remember that?
Oh, my gosh. It was so cold, but there were so many people
I know. It was
downtown
so
for
great
that.
to watch all those people downtown.
Yes. I think it was below zero. I'm quite sure it was below zero.
Oh,
I'd have to look back. It was well below zero.
It was. The team was anxious to get inside the RCA Dome, I think, at that point. And let us know, did you ever see him around town? Did you ever get his autograph? Do you have a signed jersey at home? Is there a picture of you and Peyton Manning. You know, let's talk Peyton Manning, find out about your memories of number 18 as he gets ready to go in. And Edgerrin James will go in with him. And Peyton said today that Edge was one of his favorite teammates.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people also would have preferred Reggie Wayne go in.
Yeah.
As well at the same time.
Right.
You
I
know,
agree
so
with you.
there was, you know,
I think-
it could have been even more special, I think, had they all gotten in
Right.
together.
I think eventually, I think next year maybe Reggie Wayne
hope
will be
so.
his year. I mean, look, he's got Hall of Fame numbers, I think,
Yeah.
and so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Peyton also talked about the fact that this year at the Hall of Fame ceremony, they're only giving them 6 to 8 minutes, and apparently there's a buzzer and a light that will go off when you get close. Knowing Peyton and how much he studied before games, he says he's already at 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So that's, in terms of his speech, we thought that was kind of funny. He talked about his love not only for Indianapolis, but also for Denver, because when he had the neck injury
Sure.
and the surgeries, had to sit out the season. The Broncos picked him up, talked about his love for the Broncos, talked about his love for the University of Tennessee.
Sure.
Of course, living in Louisiana. Now he and his family are out in Denver. So we're proud of Peyton. Share your Peyton memories with us here
Well,
on the
he's
Facebook
very
page.
familiar now with the buzzer since he and Cooper host the game show.
Well, that was another thing he talked about. He's like, look, a year ago, he couldn't have imagined being a game show host.
Yeah, the two of them do a great
They
job.
do a great
They're
job
kinda
on that
funny.
College Bowl.
And there's like the brotherly picking at each other.
Right.
It's entertaining.
Another reporter asked him, you know, what do you have planned in terms of next steps? Specifically, they were asking him, would he ever be interested in getting into ownership with the Denver Broncos? Now, he and his family live out in Denver. He hasn't missed any of the games out there. He's very interested in what's going on with the Broncos, but he says he really looks at all these future career decisions as a year-by-year basis. He doesn't want to make any decisions right now. He's happy doing the game show that he's doing and, you know, living
And when you
life.
spend your life in the public like that,
Right.
and all of those football games, and now you have young children, you don't want to miss any of that.
Right.
Because it
true.
goes so fast.
Right.
So the year-by-year thing totally makes sense.
Yeah. He also hinted that in terms of his enshrinement talk, that he may be talking about this this story that John Madden used to talk about, that when people leave the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, that the busts talk to each other.
Oh,
and
geez.
that the busts have, you know, play games or whatever. And so Peyton kind of hinted tonight that that might be something that he might refer to because of all these busts that are in the Canton, Ohio.
Sure.
So I
Interesting.
don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see what people are saying here. Let's see. Sharon joining us tonight, talking about our big story. My 15-year-old grandson didn't like homeschool. Felt like he wasn't getting the information he needed to understand the subjects
Sure.
overall.
I had a college student that had to take physics
Yeah.
online, and you
It's
know
hard.
it's hard.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of hope with, you know, the vaccinations
Right.
and that, you know, moving forward that kids can get back to learning.
Right. Daniel Moore remembering the Colts victory parade.
So
saying,
cold.
I remember how cold it was for that parade. I think the high that day was only 4 above.
Oh, good for you to remember that.
Yeah, and let's see, who else is in here? Sandra saying, well, I teach my grandkids at home and they love it because they get snacks afterward.
See.
So Sandra's providing snacks, so you know things are good.
You know, and there were a few perks with school at home and working from home as far as, you know,
Right.
slippers and pajama pants, you know, because there were just, you know, a few perks.
Right, and Tim Coverdale saying the bar stools look like fun. So there you go.
They're fun, all right.
Okay. All right, so if folks are missing the forecast, missed it off the top.
Yep.
What is the wake-up weather tomorrow?
Wake up weather is dry, but I'd throw the umbrella in just in case, especially if you're going to be out and about late afternoon, early evening. That's when we're going to reintroduce the chance for a few storms. 72, 8 a.m., 82 at noon, 85 to 90 for high temperatures tomorrow. A little warmer, a little more muggy than what we had today. Anytime after 2, 3 o'clock might get a pop-up, but really the better chance looks to come in later Thursday night and then off and on during the day Friday. If you're already making friends, and plans, maybe you and your friends have plans.
I
on
think it may have
Friday.
been the spinning in the chair.
Yeah, well, that's a sloopy. We'll help you with the timeline, but right now we're definitely going to have to work around rain chances Friday.
All right, very good. Hope you've enjoyed our little stool Facebook Live tonight. Who knows where we'll be tomorrow in the studio? We'll just have
Yes.
to kind of see.
Maybe
right?
different chairs.
Okay, so for Angela, I'm Scott. Hope to see you tonight on 13 News at 11. Good night.